Hey children, today let's dive into the amazing world of water, a resource we all need to live. Water is essential for all living things on earth, including plants, animals, and people. It's important to conserve water and use it wisely to help protect our environment. Next, we'll explore the journey water takes around our planet in something called the water cycle. The water from the oceans and surface of the earth evaporates and rises up in the air. It cools and condenses to form clouds and then falls back to the earth as rain, snow, or hail. This circulation of water between the oceans and land is called the water cycle. Let's take a closer look at how water moves and changes form in the water cycle. First up, we are going to learn about evaporation. When the sun shines on water, it makes the water warm and turn into vapor or steam. The water goes up into the sky as an invisible gas. This process is called evaporation. Next, we are headed upwards to see what happens next in the sky with condensation. When the warm water vapor rises into the sky, it cools down and turns back into tiny water droplets. These water droplets stick together and form clouds. This process is called condensation. Get ready for the next stage, precipitation. When the clouds become too heavy with water droplets, they fall back to the ground as rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Raindrops make the grass and flowers grow, and snowflakes create a beautiful winter wonderland. After the rain has fallen and the snow has settled, it's time to see where all that water goes. We're moving on to learn about collection. When rain falls to the ground, it collects in lakes, rivers, and oceans. Some of the water soaks into the ground and becomes groundwater. Now, let's shift our focus from the water cycle on land to the dynamic movements within our oceans. We are about to dive into ocean circulation. Unlike the calm water of ponds and lakes, ocean water keeps moving continuously. This continuous movement is called as ocean circulation. The movement that occur in oceans can be broadly categorized as waves, tides, and currents. After setting the stage with ocean circulation, we are ready to ride the waves and see how they form and what causes the big ones we often hear about. When the water on the surface of the ocean rises and falls alternately, they are called waves. Storms produce high-speed winds forming destructive waves. Natural events like earthquakes can trigger tsunamis, enormous waves reaching up to 15 meters or more. Having surfed the waves, it's time to experience the rhythmic dance of the ocean with tides, discovering why the ocean behaves like a giant breath, inhaling and exhaling. The rhythmic rise and fall of ocean water twice in a day is called a tide. It is high tide when water covers much of the shore by rising to its highest level. It is low tide when water falls to its lowest level and recedes from the shore. Understanding the regular rise and fall of tides, let's examine the extremes. We'll look at the difference between spring tides and neap tides and what causes these variations. The strong gravitational pull exerted by the sun and the moon on the Earth's surface causes the tides. The water of the Earth is closer to the influence of the moon's gravitational force and causes high tides. During the full moon and new moon days, the sun, the moon, and the Earth are in the same line and the tides are highest. These tides are called spring tides. On the other hand, when the moon is in the first and last quarter, the ocean water get drawn in diagonally opposite directions by the gravitational pull of the sun and moon, resulting in low tides. These tides are called neap tides. Now that we've seen how the sun and moon play tug-of-war with the ocean to create spring and neap tides, let's flow into another powerful movement of ocean waters, ocean currents. Ocean currents are streams of water flowing constantly on the ocean surface in definite directions. The ocean currents are maybe warm or cold. Generally, the warm ocean currents originate near the equator and move towards the poles. The cold currents carry water from polar or higher latitudes to tropical or lower latitudes. Exploring the paths carved by ocean currents, we are now ready to feel the temperature shift as we navigate through warm and cold currents, understanding their impact on our climate and marine life. The Labrador Ocean Current is cold current, while the Gulf Stream is a warm current. The ocean current influences the temperature condition of the area. Warm currents bring about warm temperature over land surface. The area where the warm and cold currents meet provide the best fishing grounds of the world. Seas around Japan and the eastern coast of North America are such examples. The areas where a warm and cold currents meet also experience foggy weather, making it difficult for navigation. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on Eduref to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all, you also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for class 7. Thank you.